I was guided to do some videos about Ascension, and because there are so many different symptoms, I had decided to break it down into 3 different videos, and I just created the first one, and it's about the physical symptoms that you may experience. And these symptoms can overlap, and I often, during the videos, I will overlap them a little bit. There's no getting around that, but I did break them up to how I perceived physically. You can experience them in this particular video. I'm going to talk about emotionally, what you can experience emotionally going through Ascension. And then, of course, I've got another video I'm creating that's about spiritually what you can experience. So I am Elizabeth, and I embrace fully who I am. A divine channel is the way that I describe and the way that I perceive and the way that my beingness is. I'm able to expand into, hold. I remember who I am, and these I describe them as elevated. They're not as dense. They're lighter. These frequencies of healing where magic can happen and miracles happen, and the potentiality that we have as beings. All of us have these abilities to clear, to be more fully connected, to be expanded into all that is, and more fully operating from a full sense of beingness. And I trip over my words once in a while, and that's okay. And not everyone is meant to experience it the same way. And I say this over and over, that whatever you are meant to experience in this particular lifetime requires a different state of being to experience in that capacity. But for me, my journey has been about ascending and the experience of it and sharing it with others. So all of these ascension symptoms, signs, experiences I have experienced personally, every single one of them over the years, and still once in a while I get the experience and have them happen to me as well when I shift and invite in and embody a higher vibration. So emotionally, and yes, I have notes that I look at, you could be, from the beginning, when I really started going, what the heck is happening to me? What is going on? When I started questioning a lot of what I was doing, my behaviors, depression. I was experiencing anxiety on a regular basis, and I started questioning why, what are the reasons that I'm feeling in these capacities, and almost an inner knowing of there is a more joyful, loving, connected, it was my soul speaking to me, state of being that I could be in. And so taking a look at ways that I could heal, clear, and I also started shifting my perception of the world and what I was taught, and started going, and I did it at a very young age where I was questioning. I used to question my grandfather about religion. He was a deacon in the Catholic Church, and I loved my grandfather dearly. He was funny, but he was also the epitome of this dominant patriarchy. I am the man, and you do what I say. And he followed religiously his Catholic, the background, the teachings to a T, and there was no give. And I would question him all the time. This doesn't make sense to me. So my journey, my questioning started very young, and so I can't pinpoint when I started awakening. I think it was from the get-go, from being younger, and I've always been on this kind of search and this wanting to understand some of the things that I was experiencing physically, emotionally, spiritually, that others in my life could not explain to me. So I questioned my identity very young, and you could be questioning your identity and who you are, who you really, really are. I would stare in the mirror. When I was 16, thinking, I'm from another planet. And literally, I have had lifetimes, I know this, of being elsewhere galactically and angelically. And my roots, my connections, my soul lives in other places. So in hindsight, looking back at that, I really truly was looking, who am I? Where am I from? Those moments when I would look in the mirror and question was part of my ascension, my awakening. And so symptoms, that lost, that disoriented, uncertain, unsure, questioning everything, the way that society works, questioning my family. So you could be feeling similar things as to what I'm talking about, and I digress sometimes. So you could also experience emotionally, for me, a withdrawal and needing alone time. I needed to be alone a lot to process through emotions that I was experiencing. And for me, as a coming into this dysfunction of sexuality in our collective consciousness and in physical form, love and sex, and um, I did come into and planned into an incestual type relationship that I experienced with my father, and then I had subsequent abusers. And all of those things that come along with that, the closing down of the heart, the shutting down of our beingness, closing off. I came in so that then I could have that remembrance very fully to share with others of standing back up into my full power after depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsiveness. I have extreme obsessive compulsive disorder. So I needed that alone time and wanted that alone time to process through all of these repressed emotions that I had experienced, wounding and trauma from childhood. So you could experience wanting to be alone more, uh, hermiting a bit if you need to, experiencing that, um, and to just understand, just to be with me and just to be with yourself. That's part of it. You could experience emotional mood swings, extreme mood swings, and even within not just um, I'm going to say just daily, like you could experience anxiety, depression, anger, fear, joy, so many different things. It almost feels like you're going a little bit crazy because of what's coming to the surface to be healed, what your full essence, that joyfulness, those feelings of elation coming in, which is much more about our soul essence, and being in such a loving place, and euphoria, the feeling of euphoria as well, and that peace, and that all is well. So that's a gamut of emotions that you can experience during ascension. And for me, I did have a big one. The depression and anxiety were big, and I even experienced for the very first time probably in my 30s or 40s. Now, granted, it was related a little bit to my dietary food intake. I believe there was a combination of that and the ascension symptom of a panic attack. I never experienced a panic attack, but this was my feeling of being out of control as these energies worked through, as I was expanding into them and receiving them and processing them. It was like almost a panic. I didn't know how to deal or how to cope with. And I remember sitting in front of my yard with a blanket wrapped around me and just in total panic and total fear. And thankfully, I had someone I love very dearly that held space for me on the phone while I went through this, because I had felt like I just wanted to run. I wanted to run away. I wanted to escape. And there were fears, and our collective fears in our collective consciousness As an empath, I would also pick up on that, so it was almost amplified. But you could experience some of these things, and it seems, yes, some are very unpleasant. Getting to the other side, though, is so worth it. Knowing that it's part of it, that it doesn't last forever, understanding that you are not alone going through these things. The purpose of doing this video to help with that, to share, can be feeling like you're going crazy. So emotionally, those were things, and especially the big one too, crying for no reason. We oftentimes don't express our emotions, and we're taught when we're younger not to express how we feel. And crying is a way for us to wash and clear and to soothe ourselves. And when we don't do that younger, it's like a buildup. And so it's a release that needs to happen. And so please feel. All of these emotions are part of it. We are in human form, and honoring whatever needs to come up. There's a beauty and acceptance of all of it too. If you can just accept, it allows that, almost like I've been told in the past, ride in the wave. Just ride the wave. Allow for whatever you are experiencing emotionally to happen. I can't say it enough, and obviously I am saying it quite a bit. Let's see. I can't think of anything else. Yes, all of those things, the emotionally what you can experience, it's all part of it, and it's all normal, and you are not alone, and just trust in the process of it all. If you do have questions for me about the emotional piece of it, and wanting to understand a little bit more, or even just picking my brain with what I've gone through, I'm here as a way shower, there isn't anything I haven't seen and gone through or done for the most part. And yes, so I am here. So if you would like to speak, and this is my passion, to help others, hit me up. My website is healingwithelizabeth.com, and I have a free discovery call on there. And you can direct message me as well. And I hope that this video has helped you to know that you're not alone, and sending out much love.